Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is in terms of employment. What do you do? You know, our members are telling us what's going on. Brett and I are both in practice, so we see some volume dropping. Some practices are doing beautifully, some are really getting hurt. And we want to make sure that you know, don't make any decisions without talking to your coach. If you don't have a coach, call us. This is not about member versus not member. This is about chiropractors and us doing everything we can to save you and help you for the long term. Reach out to us on Chiro Destiny. We'll answer any questions. But make sure you don't make decisions out of a snap decision or about fear, because there are some things that you can do to help your staff members. We know a lot of them live paycheck to paycheck. So here's what we do recommend. When you have volume starting to drop, you want to look at your practice as a whole. And the first thing you want to do is meet with each staff member individually and ask them a question first, which is, do you feel safe coming to work? We want it to be their decision first. We don't judge you. We're not about forcing you or coercing you to work. We want to make sure if you're not comfortable being here, no judgment. Your job is here for you when this thing is all over. If you want to stay home, because some of it might take care of itself, where some of the people want to stay home, they were just feeling like they had to stay there. And now you'll have some staff members want to stay, some that don't, and it may take care of itself. But if, let's say, everybody wants to stay, start looking at it mathematically and start to have phases of a plan to take care of the people that you can take care of as long as possible. We don't want you to use numbers, so you can't promise them you're going to be able to pay this amount of percentage of their salary for this amount of weeks, because you don't know. And as Brett just said, we only focus on what we know and what we can control, not what's on TV and guesswork and opinions. So phases of your plan, we're happy to go over it with you. But, you know, being fair to all employees, we know some have children and some don't. Some have daycare problems and some don't. Some have other spouses that have an income, some don't. You're going to have to take all of that into account, and just phases. As the volume stabilizes, you know where you are. If things continue to drop, then you'll have the next phase of what you're going to have to do to reduce the salary.
So let's give them a couple of quick examples in terms of, you know, it's easy for us to say doing it in phases and all that, but when people are starting to freak out because the practice is dropping, they want tangible, you know,
right. So
I think the best thing to do is look at your volume, look at your current income, and to the best of your ability, I agree with what you said in terms of meeting with each staff member 100%. And then it's about trying to figure out on a fair basis, you know, I would try to do it equally. And if you can't, or you don't have to, depending on the situation, but if you need to reduce patient or employee hours, you know, based on pay, what you want to reinforce to them is you're here for them. You want to keep them working as long as possible. We're just trying to get through this. We don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm not going to close my office if I don't have to. And at the same time, I don't just want to lay you off and you're going to get less money through, you know, unemployment. So we're just trying to do this on a basis where we keep everybody working to some degree. So it might be cutting hours or cutting their hours 25%. It may get to 50%, depending on where your practice is. So it really
there's also a formula that if you want to take how your normal overhead, not take yourself out of it, doctor.
Right.
Normal overhead, whatever it costs you per month to pay the rent, the electricity, the insurances, the staff salaries, and then see, based on your office visit average, how much you collect per visit, how many visits a week do you need to see to cover your nut?
Right. The state.
Now you'll know if you're underneath or not.
And how can you reduce that overhead nut? Maybe there's some things that you can get rid of, you don't have to pay. And don't forget also, some things might get put on hold anyway to help you.
That's right.
I just heard about car payments and rent and few other things.
We talk to your landlord.
Yeah, so talk to your landlord, get monthly, you know, the rent reduced. So you never know, but I would start with that first. You kind of come up with as real a number as you can, and then go from there. Don't just react out of emotion and fear, because then you're going to make bad decisions.
And then lastly, we want to blanketly err on the side of generosity.
Yeah.
We don't know where this is going. Nobody does, but you have the people that have gotten you to where you are, that have gone, that your blood, sweat, and tears and their blood, sweat, and tears. And when we say chiropractic is a family, we mean it. So be as generous as you can for as long as you can, right? Make, you know, some of the docs we have spoken to is doing some advances in salary, taking out of their own personal money. You know, be smart with your own family. You know your own financial situations. But again, we're happy to answer any questions and help sort of spitball with you and mastermind with you, so you're making good, honest, thoughtful decisions for the long term, not the immediate fear-based as an emergency. So,
So in closing,
yeah, please.
for those of you who are not members of ours, or we don't coach with, or we don't know, but you need help and want help, we're here for you. As Rick mentioned earlier, we're trying to help the profession as much as we can. Rick and I are both going through this as well. We know what you're dealing with. So reach out to us, Brett at chirodestiny.com, Rick at chirodestiny.com. There's also a phone number that you can call as well. Go to our website, chirodestiny.com. The bottom line is don't delay, don't sit back and wait. Go be proactive, take action steps based on what you can do. Don't focus on what you can't do. And again, we're trying to sustain this as long as we can, and that's really the bottom line. So we're here to help you. We love each and every one of you. So we'll send out more videos just like this. If you need help, reach out to us. We're here for you.
We're proud of you. We're all in this together. Chiropractic is going to be a very big part of this whole future of healthcare, and you know, we think the world of everything you're doing for your communities, and we're here for you guys as much as we can be.
And this too shall pass.
Absolutely.
All right.